All right. I'm just talking about what a terrible team the Panthers are.
So they're giving us. Oh, okay. Thank you.
I'll make sure that. I'll come sit. Thank you. That'd be a good idea. You're right.
Yeah, they're moving it back.
No, he's talking about. Battery operated.
I don't know. Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Yes, we have.
It came out in a message to change it into the date. Okay. I'm so sorry.
Good evening and welcome to City of Officers Commissioners Board Meeting at 7 p.m. Wednesday, November 12th, 2025.
Roll call. Commissioner Quan Bridges.
Present.
Commissioner Scotty Burrows.
Here.
Commissioner Seth Lumpkins.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Patricia Fields.
Here.
City Manager Brent Taylor.
Here.
Commissioner Curtis McRae.
Here.
Commissioner John. Too. Yeah.
All members are present. I would like to invite Mayor Pro Tem Patricia Fields to lead us in prayer, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance by Commissioner Scotty Brooks.
All those that are inclined, if you will bow with me. All wise and kind Father, we humbly bow to say thank you. Thank you for the many, many blessings that you have already bestowed upon us. Now, God, we ask you to come in and intercede into this board so that everything we do will be pleasing in your sight, that we do things with a clear mind, a loving heart, and an open conscience. When we depart from this place, God, give all traveling mercies and safety so that they will reach home and all is well as they left it. These and all our prayers we pray in your Son, Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. At this time, we will consider adjustment to an approval of tonight's agenda. Are there any adjustments? Is there a motion?
Motion to accept the agenda as written.
Motion by Commissioner Toby. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Lumpkins. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Opening remarks.
In order to provide for the highest standards of behavior and transparency in governance, the Board of Commissioners has approved a code of ethics to establish guidelines for ethical standards for board members and to provide guidance in determining appropriate conduct. Among those, board members should avoid impropriety in the exercise of their official duties and should conduct the affairs of the board in an open and public manner. We now inquire whether any board member knows of any conflict of interest or appearance of conflict with respect to matters before the board. If any board member knows of a conflict of interest or the appearance of a conflict, please state so at this time. Records noted, no conflicts.
Thank you. So I'd call Mrs. Angela P. Allen. This is something that I've noted changed drastically in the city in the last, ever since you got here. Everything is moving, there's wide open tourism in every part of the county, so it's just appropriate that the city can do this for you. City of Oxford, North Carolina, honoring Angela P. Allen, Director, Granville County Tourism Development Authority. Whereas Angela P. Allen, TMP, Certified Travel Marketing Professional, that's what it stands for, served as the Director of the Granville County Tourism Development Authority, representing the county and its municipalities with exceptional professionalism, energy, and dedication. And whereas under leadership, Granville County tourism presence has grown significantly through creative marketing, regional partnership, and commitment to showcasing the county's unique heritage, business, and events. And whereas Angela Allen has consistently promoted the city of Oxford and its surrounding communities through signature events, tourism initiative, and collaboration that highlight Oxford's vibrant downtown local artisans and welcoming character. And whereas she has strengthened relationship between municipal county and regional organizations, ensuring that Granville County stand as a premier destination in North Carolina for cultural, recreational, and business visitors. Now therefore be it resolved that I, Guillermo Nurse, Mayor of the City of Oxford, do hereby recognize and commend Angela P. Allen for her outstanding service and dedication to promoting the City of Oxford and all of Granville County. Let this proclamation serve as a symbol of appreciation from the citizens of Oxford for the tireless efforts in advancing tourism, community pride, and economic vitality. And when there's aught, I have Aaron set my hand and cause the seal of the city of Oxford to be affixed this 12th day of November 2025. And if you guys tour I'm not going to tell you what this name is.
First of all, I would like to say thank you so very much. I am totally the type of person that would be behind the scenes pushing all of the lovely places and things to be able to do in our community. So I am very grateful and honored to be recognized for the work. But honestly, I would not be able to do the work without the relationships of retail and hotels and shops and restaurants and all the other groups that make this place a wonderful place to visit. So I want to say this on behalf of those that are in Oxford and Granville County. Thank you for making my job easier.
Thank you. All right, next, we have a young lady coming up in delegation that, I'll tell you, once she gets started, it's hard to stop her. And it's brought a big change to the city, bring a new life. Our Saturdays are no longer bored, so here you have Mrs. Wendy Tatum.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, Commissioners and Commissioner-elect. I see you in the room. Tonight, I'm here to update you on the Farmers Market Board with our final numbers, and I will be honest with you, I think as a board, we were even impressed, after seeing all the numbers. So we hope you are too, and thank you so much for that partnership that we have with the City of Oxford. We could not have done this without you. So, next slide, please. The market data is this. So we had 8,143 visitors, and that was over around 20, I think it was 23 Saturdays. We had 78 registered vendors. They were all within 75 miles of Granville County, and the majority of them were in Granville County. Our median attendance was 377 people, so that it became a destination place on Saturday. We had a lot of people who were coming from out of town, and our furthest visitor came from Washington State. They were visiting Carr Lake, and they saw one of the flyers and came to the farmers market. So we were really, really appreciative. Thanks, Angela. Next, please. So thank you to our sponsors. These are in alphabetical order because I could not figure out any other way not to feel anything. But Blue Cross and Blue Shield of North Carolina, of course, the City of Oxford, Kern and Dutra, Farm Bureau of Granville County, Graphic Signs, Holden Moss Knott and Company, the Cartara Regional Council of Governments, the Triangle North Healthcare Foundation, and last but not least, Winston International. Each one of these individuals gave of their time, mostly free, especially when we started with our legal and CPA stuff because I didn't know anything about that stuff. Next slide, please. These are some comments from some of our market vendors. As an agricultural producer stated that they have doubled their Saturday sales. They have more transactions and higher sales. They were looking forward to having a permanent market one day, and they like being able to donate back into our community through the Farm to Fridge program. One of our agricultural producers stated they have a 5% increase in overall sales, and this is a farmer who sells across the state of North Carolina. A 50% increase in sales in Oxford and a 25% increase in their overall Granville County sales. One of our shocking feedback was that a new protein vendor, which means that they sell some kind of meat, they sold more in a few hours at the Oxford Farmers Market than they did in 2 days at the State Farmers Market. So I was like, we're doing some pretty good things here in Granville County. And last but not least, For the Love of Dough, they asked to be mentioned specifically, said that it is enabled to double their business, and they are waiting for an door actually moved to that. Next slide, please. Partnerships of many people, we could not do it, so we'd like to feature several of those folks. Next slide. As many of you know, the Cartara Council of Government does a lot of partnerships with all kinds of municipalities, and so we were able to partner with the Division of Aging with an ARPA funding. They gave us senior boxes to donate. They purchased from local farmers, aggregated that produce, and sent it out on the third Saturday. They spent $8,825 with our local farmers and gave around 10,000 pounds, to seniors 60 and older. That was the only requirement. You just had to be 60 and pick it up. And of course, they aggregated this from our local producers. Next slide, please. Most of you know about the Farm to Fridge program, but it is a refrigerators that are placed in each of the libraries, one of them being in Thornton Library here. We got a grant for $8,500. Of course, I spent every dime of it. I could have spent a little bit more if they gave me more. But we purchased produce from local vendors. It was also kind of an incentive for people who would try out our market. Farmers donated / we purchased, because there's no way it should have done this, but we were able to purchase 20,000 pounds of food to go around Granville County with that money. So y'all do the math on that. It does not math. The next slide, please. The Seniors Farmers Market Nutrition Program is a program that we were lucky enough to be able to do through the Food Bank of Central and Eastern North Carolina, who partnered with ACIM and gave out vouchers. They were voucher books for $50 in $5 increments. We had 3 farmers that participated, which were Lyons, Dixon, and Olisanya. And we also had a pilot program in Granville County, and they are using our pilot program from Granville County for the entire state of North Carolina next year. We only had 3 errors. This came from, next slide, please, from the Division of Aging, Karen Apert. We were recognized as the outstanding for the fact that we only had 3 errors in all of the 300 vouchers that we get. And one of the reasons were there was a glitch in their programming, and we were able to identify what the problem was, so they were able to correct that. So the total value of those vouchers was $8,800, but because we had them doubled with the partnership with Blue Cross and Blue Shield, we ended up with $13,800 worth of produce that went to seniors age 60 plus. So we made sure that folks in our community, especially that were in the walkable community, were able to receive that, and we are thankful for the partnership we had with ACIM for that. So farmers have to date already gone and sent in all of those, and they have been paid by the federal government. So that's been a really good thing. As we mentioned before, next slide, please. Blue Cross and Blue Shield partnered with us and did the $5,000 matching grant, which is why the $8,800 plus the $5,000, that was your $13,800. And we were really grateful to Mike Peterson for his being that liaison for us. Next slide, please. Many of you came out. I saw a lot of you coming out tasting, and thank you, Commissioner Velez and Commissioner-elect Karen, for coming out and judging with us. We had a great time at the pumpkin cook-off. I've never thought the pumpkin could be in a chili. Didn't think it could be in a pastry puff, and much less when you add Italian pork sausage. But apparently everything worked out well, and we enjoyed ourselves. We also partnered with Chef Mark, Chef Freddie, Chef Lamar, and a lot of good people. And we had to grab a guest judge of Mr. Dutra, who used to own Harvest Restaurant down here in downtown, but he was also one of our judges that day. We also partnered with Leadership Granville to be a collection site for ACIM. And our goal with Leadership Granville, as I'm a member of the Leadership Granville 2025 class, and we just graduated tonight, our goal was to raise $5,000 and 5,000 pounds, and we exceeded both of those goals. So that food went right back into Granville County. So, and we're looking forward to adding more things like bands and more music for next year, but that all depends on our grant funding that we get. Next slide, please. So, has been halted and no applications for vendors who have applied. There's no movement on that at all. We are looking to source more produce vendors with specialty items, because we found out at the end of the market, some of our folks have pumpkin patches. So then we lost a produce vendor. We're also looking for more opportunities for marketing, creating a market assistant position, which will be a job here in the city. and not with you paying, us paying. But we're also looking to support new farmers that are going to be doing the small farm boot camp. And the board voted on Monday to, as an incentive for a position or a vendor spot to be allocated to one of the new graduates. So trying to bring in new folks, but also at the same time respecting that we need them to have some kind of accountability and education. So we're doing a lot of education over the winter to hopefully continue that. Next slide, please. So where do we go from here? Obviously, the reason I'm here tonight is to see if we can get the updated memorandum of understanding for 2026 to continue what we've done. There are some minor things that we've changed and tweaked with the city manager, and I think all of you have been updated on those. The water is complete down there. We appreciate that because we don't like to haul water very far. And I know the last time we talked, some people were talking about what do we see as a future or permanent potential. So I did do a lot of research. Selena and I went around the state looking at farmers markets and listening to what you guys have said. Next slide, please. So I know some people had talked about some places for kids to play in that area. So in the Carrboro market is kind of like, I thought like an ideal, based on what you said, it still stands open. Its ability to be able to use by multiple people. In the center, in the middle picture, you can see that they have an area that's covered so you can have music and entertainment. On each side, they have playground. And I really like this little trike thing because one of my fears at the farmer's market is kids getting in the street. So they have a fence around both of their playgrounds, but they have places for kids to ride their bikes and little trikes. So it's like a really safe, cool place. Next slide, please. Then, like I said, the covered spaces for musical performances, which I know we had a couple of those and a lot of people enjoyed those. And then, of course, fans. And because I was like, there was a lot of days when it was super, super hot. Okay. So for the grand totals, next slide, please. We collected 30,164 pounds of food, and it was donated to local food programming. So that's a lot of food that went straight back into Granville County. We received $31,125 of grant money that went into the local foods programming, so we were able to do that. And as we said before, we had 8,134 visitors. And I believe that I see the certificate. I'd asked Commissioner Velez to accept it at the last market, which is a certificate thanking the city of Oxford for that partnership. And I think the mayor, you have it now, right? Yeah, good.
Yeah. I was,
Yes.
thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Do you have any questions or anything?
Well done.
Just don't ask her what she needs, just ask.
I won't ask her what she. I know
Kristen
what she
needs this.
needs.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. That's another.
I just want to say that you've done remarkably well the first year of this market. If anybody's visited the market, it's far exceeded the expectations. So well done, the whole team, because it takes a team.
Well, if you're a farmer's market board member, can you raise your hand? If you're a farmer that was in the market, raise your hand.
I'd like to say from the first time meeting you, Wendy, in your office, when you were presenting the concept to me, it's outstanding to sit and listen at you talk of a vision and then to come to see it come to life, be a phenomenal success. Congratulations to you, the farmers, volunteers, anybody that had a hand in it. Congratulations.
When I like country, so I commend you all. I'm appreciative of it. We can't take care of our seniors enough, and so for you all to donate a very necessary item, giving them healthy food that they can eat. Thank you very much on behalf of the city and Granville County, with the whole county should thank you for that. So thank you.
Interesting talking about the area of food, and healthy foods, especially when out of Washington DC, all we hear is cutting things like SNAP and the programs that feed children so that they can learn. I really feel it when folks talk about kids coming to school hungry, because I can recall as a little boy, one of 11, getting to school and not having my stomach full. And I even have a granddaughter right now that says to me every morning, I gotta eat breakfast, granddaddy. And there are some kids who literally cannot have food before they go to school because of poverty. And it's amazing to me, with the shutdown and all the things that come out of Washington, D.C., that they attack people who only want food in their belly. And so the work that you do, I do appreciate it. And I hope that we will continue to make sure our seniors and our little ones have full bellies in terms of food.
Well, that's one of the reasons why we really like the farm to fridge, because it is available to anybody.
Well, one other thing, I know you talked about the structure and what y'all need out there. The times that I've been out to the food market, it is hot.
Correct.
And all I can say to you is when I see older individuals out there trying to, get around to the different farmers and stuff like that, I thought I remember having a discussion about the possibility of a tent structure that could be actually air conditioned.
I would love that, but I also know the budget constraints of the farmer's market. So if we can have help with that, I'd love it. What we did do is.
Don't say that.
Hey, look, he said it. I'm just gonna comment. But what we did do is we did have a tent that we had chairs under. After you made the suggestion, we did that. And we purchased an inverter with a fan so that people who were overheating could have it. And we also made sure that we had water and Gatorades available for not only vendors, but customers. And then we helped most of our folks get things to their car. So if we saw people having those issues, we were making sure that board members were taking food to their cars.
Wendy, if I could, first, I know you and I have had plenty of conversations, but again, thank you. I did it the last at our agenda meeting, but I want to make sure that I recognize Cooperative Extension for what you guys did for us at the prison. A lot of you realize, that hopefully the government shutdown is nearing an end, but there are so many of us that were directly affected by it, having to go to work and not get paid. And in addition to ACIM, the group came out and, you guys served and you served us well. I like to say I am forever indebted and grateful for what you do. But I recently realized too, I just became aware that one of the individuals that you guys serviced on that 60 plus is my father.
Oh.
He's 90, soon to be 92 years old. And of course, he's been retired for many, many years. And he would often talk about, going, just pick up, some items and everything. Then lo and behold, it's you guys. So again, I am, even more thankful now for what you guys do. Looking at those that are, like I said, as Commissioner Bridges said it, the young, the old, you guys service everybody. And it's something that in this environment, in this time, that's greatly needed. And thank you. Thank you so much. And just know that
Time at the federal prison.
Yeah.
It's the first time and
Sorry.
we were in the
That's
parking
the
lot.
leader. That's the
It's
name of it.
It's something else, isn't it?
Yes, it's a little overwhelming, and there's quite a few characters there.
Yes.
And I do now know that his official title.
Wendy,
Yes, sir.
not just to you, but to the farmers and the participants of the farmers market and your board, thank you. You know, I know when everything first came up for the farmers market, my concern was that everybody can have access to it and be able to afford it. And you've done that, you know, your farmers have done that. You talked about the refrigerators and the libraries. One thing I didn't hear you say was the food trailer.
Right,
You
because that's
know.
not through the farmer's market. That is a separate program with a
Yeah.
pay-as-you-can market, but it is also, they do purchase from local farmers.
Yes, and I also think that that's an awesome program. I remember Wendy walking me into that trailer and showing me all the different vegetation in there and different produce, and I'm looking at the tags, and the tags say $3 donation, $1 donation, and I said, well, Wendy, what happened if somebody don't have the money to donate for this? She said, so we just put them on the list. Well, what if they can't pay on the list? Then they just don't pay it. You know, we don't follow through on it. It's more of an honor program, and if somebody can afford to pay it back, then they pay it back. If they can't, and I thought that was awesome. You know, you got so many of these industries and these large greedy corporations that they have produce and they have food, and they just throw it in the dumpster when it reaches a certain time. You know, I was at I'm not gonna say the supermarket, but I was at a certain supermarket, and it was close to the evening before they closed their deli area, and I was getting me some warm food, and there was plenty of food left there. I said, well, y'all getting ready to close? She said, yeah. I said, well, what do y'all do with the rest of this stuff? She said, we got to throw it out. I said, you know, there's people around here, like there's a young lady that I know from the community. She goes by the name of Mother Love, and she feeds the homeless people. She goes around and she feeds the homeless people. So, I mean, and she tells me all the time, Commissioner Velez, I'm on call. If one of them called me and they got warm food, I will come pick it up right then. And right then I'll drop it off to the people in the streets, you know. And to hear the stuff like that's getting thrown out, you know, it's very heart-wrenching. But to see that people like you and your farmers are doing stuff to get fresh vegetation on people's tables, you know, is outstanding, because firsthand, I do a garden every year at my house. You know, I learned from one of my cousins, Roy Evans, everything that has to do with gardening. I remember when I first got here, he took me into his land. He had probably like a half an acre plowed out, and he told me, he said, plant whatever you want there. And it was summertime. I was out there trying to plant collard greens, broccoli, all kinds of stuff that don't even get planted that kind of season. Then 2 months later, I'm asking them, why only some plants coming up? But that was my learning structure, you know. And but now, I mean, I go out there and I've had watermelons. I mean, huge watermelons come out of my garden, and it's thanks to people like him, thanks to people like your farmers that are well educated on that stuff, and they try to pass it on to younger people, and you know, and even the fruits of their labor, they're willing to donate some of it. And there's a lot of work that goes to it. I've tried almost everything, try to cut back on the weeding in them gardens, and I hate it, but it got to be done, you know. Especially if you want organic stuff and you don't want to, you know, put pesticides and all kinds of stuff, is really hard then. But thank you so much on everything, because I understand the hard work that goes into it.
Well, I don't know if many of y'all know, but all the downtown restaurants participate in a program with feeding our homeless or unhoused, and all the waste from like all the nightly food at Verdigris, at the end of the night, whatever's left over, and are now making sure that food goes somewhere. So, I mean, and that's our downtown Oxford restaurants. So we're pleased with those, and we appreciate those partnerships to continue that service.
Thank you very much, Wendy, and to your staff and everybody for job well done. This time we have a presentation with Family Living Violence Free. Is anybody here from that organization? Don't look like they're here. Now we move to a presentation by Mr. Patrick Newcomb on the cybersecurity grant.
Good evening, Mayor and Board. We have applied for and have been presented with the option to, or accept, I don't know all the right terms because I'm not a grant writer, a cybersecurity grant to further improve the cybersecurity posture for the city of Oxford. You can hit the next slide for me. Why does this matter? Just going to read straight from this. Cybersecurity is essential for protecting sensitive data, systems, networks from cyber threats. With increasing number of cyber attacks, businesses, governments, and individuals alike must take proactive steps to safeguard their digital assets. Effective cybersecurity ensures the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of information, minimizing risks and vulnerabilities. I've been involved with the city for 20 plus years. I've been in the industry for 27 years. But cyber crime, cyber attacks have definitely peaked, and they're not going anywhere. To give you some statistics, me personally, or for my company in this immediate 4-county area, I've seen almost $1.8 million lost in the last 18 to 24 months from businesses, nonprofits, and other organizations. Just this week, or I think it was this week or last week, I had a small fire department in the area call. They had someone impersonate their email address and was emailing the treasurer and getting them to pay bills that didn't exist, and lost $27,000, almost a third of the money in their bank account via impersonation. My largest one I've dealt with so far, again, luckily all these people on my side of things came to me after the fact of these incidents, was $760,000 lost by a company based in Henderson. I wasn't directly involved with this one, but even the glass plant in Henderson had a major event, and their corporately worldwide organization lost $55 million in estimated loss. Another crazy statistic is in the year 2024, I believe it's $9.4 trillion was estimated to be lost from either payments, lost production, or recovery. That's almost 8% of the world's gross domestic product lost in cybersecurity. So $9.4 trillion lost. If you can get the next slide for me. So the most common security threats now are ransomware, which is where someone comes in, puts something on the environment, and literally holds your data at ransom. There's another city in this area that was hit by this earlier this year. They couldn't receive water payments for 4 months. They could pay it, but you couldn't even actually know if your bill was being paid, and they couldn't even look that up. They couldn't read meters. Phishing is where someone comes in and actually tries to pretend like they're someone else and fish for information. Data breaches, which also happened to the city government. They stole every citizen's social security number, driver's license, every employee, and threatened to release it on the dark web. The state has passed legislation that does not allow city governments or any municipality to use state funds to pay those ransoms. Therefore, that information was leaked, and there are liabilities for that as well. And then business email compromise is also heavily prevalent, where someone goes into your email and can start sending emails on your behalf and either asking for funds and trying to commit wire transfer fraud or redirecting funds into other locations. So with this grant, these are the add-on services that will be provided. If you can hit the next slide for me. The first thing is called Advanced EDR. This is more than traditional antivirus software. It's something that's going to do machine learning. And typically antivirus software, everybody's heard of Norton or McAfee, but those literally have a database of what to look for. It goes and finds it. This takes machine learning, AI, and actually can correlate across not just your computers, but uses a database across millions of computers around the world to help prevent. The old term was hackers. The new politically correct term is unauthorized. Next slide for me. The biggest part of this is we're bringing in a 24/7 security operations center. This is an outsourced organization that we partner with. They take all of the logs, all of this information, and we have eyes looking at this with response times in minutes, not days, not hours, not weeks, not months, to be able to isolate computers, ingest logs to find problems, remediate, meaning fix those problems, so that nobody can be awake 24/7. But this is one of the key things that really helps ingest all of this information and be able to shut down things before they happen, or if something does get through all of these tools, we have logging to know what happened. We also include SaaS monitoring, which is like Microsoft Outlook, OneDrive, and these software as a service applications. We monitor those. So if I've watched this happen and seen logs where people are trying to access emails for people in this area from China, from Russia, from Ukraine, from Italy, and there are literally people sitting out there in the world trying to log into your environment. We're able to basically detect that, and actually, to get too technical, geolocate it, where if you're outside of the United States, you can't log in. So that shuts down a lot of those potential issues. The next slide for me. We're also going to bring in managed firewall at the site level and the desktop level, which does intrusion prevention, which if someone starts trying to attack the environment, it prevents that and helps detect that through intrusion detection. Another big one is vulnerability management. So we scan the networks and environments, find any type of known vulnerabilities, and try to shut those down and patch those sooner than later. Next slide for me. We're going to bring in something called Secure Access, Secure Edge, which is a modern VPN replacement. This allows secure off-site access for systems. Something else called Land Zero Trust. I know it's a lot of terms, and trust me, I try not to put people to sleep, but inevitably I do. But Land Zero Trust essentially means if we don't allow it, it doesn't communicate. We trust nothing, and we specifically allow everything to happen. It takes time to set up, but once it's set up, it really helps enforce the security of the environment. Next slide for me. Another big one is multi-factor authentication. It's an annoyance, but it's a necessity. So if you're logging into your email, third-party systems such as Tyler Technologies and others, or even now we're implementing that if you log into your city device, you have to get a second code to a cell phone, a hardware key, or a text message. So that basically 2 pieces of devices or multi-factors are required to access the systems, especially if laptops are left by accident, or unfortunately, don't think it happens often, but I've had companies with their laptops stolen. Next slide for me. The next is SOC, or the Security Operations Center. Email security is another huge one. Emails, like 92% of cyber attacks come from email security. So we're going to bring in secure email, which is where essentially the system will detect if you email an account number, social security number, driver's license number, and automatically encrypt that message. So the receiving party actually has to verify who they are to be able to access that email. Anti-spam, anti-phishing, impersonation, and link scanning. Anti-spam's fairly straightforward. Anti-phishing, it can actually say if an email comes in from Patricia Fields or Guillermo Nurse, but it's not from your real email address. It says, hey, it says their name, but someone changed the letter in the number and in the name. So that's going to help prevent the anti-phishing, the impersonation. Another thing that's common is you get an email that says it's from Dropbox or Microsoft or the bank. It actually scans every link of every email that comes into the city and outbound to detect if there's known malicious websites. DKIM and DMARC management is a fancy word for if when set up, it proves that you're sending email from the correct source. So if someone else does that same management, then they kind of do a cross lookup and detect to make sure you're coming from the right place. Again, cuts down on the impersonation. Security awareness training is another big one. We actually have something now provided by the North Carolina League. We're going to be replacing that with something that's a bit better. But literally employees will have to go through training either monthly or quarterly to help them look for incidents. We also do So I think that's it, or is there one more? A lot. I tried to make it high level, and I apologize if I talk too fast. My wife tells me to slow down, but happy to answer any questions. But the grant is going to severely upgrade the city's cybersecurity posture and help reduce the risk involved with the day-to-day operations because of the amount of data that you hold and the liability of housing that data as well. So
Did you say it was gonna all be covered by grant?
everything in this would be covered by the grant. This would be in addition to what we're currently providing. Our current arrangement is managed IT services, so if it breaks, we fix it. We try to keep it from breaking, and we have some basic cybersecurity coverage, but we apply for this grant to be able to really beef that up without spending a lot of money out of the city's pocket. So
So what's,
I won't get into the numbers.
what's the
but
cost to the city?
That's,
That's gonna be a financial question.
It's all nice, but what's the cost to the city?
that's what I was.
I think there's an amendment request after this. They're good. I don't know all the numbers to be exact.
The grant is for almost 250,000, the match is roughly a little over 107,000. That which is what we.
But that's for 2 years, I believe.
I like the part about training because I've not seen any training in back in the corporate world. You get training constantly on this. And I'm glad that part is good.
No, I'm technology challenged, I'm old school, and I had an abacus and a blackboard. This
I wish we
phishing
could
on
go back to
emails,
those days
especially,
sometimes.
I get about 150 emails a day. Now, the phishing part of it, unless I click on that email, it's safe.
Normally, yes, but some products, web browsers can actually execute the code when you click to read it before you even click the link inside the email.
But I never click the links or anything.
If
I
you're just deleting it right
everything.
off the bat, then yeah, you're typically safe. Any other questions?
Mr. Brooks, this is your field.
Yeah, this is our.
Actually, I work for Duke Health Technology Solutions, and a hospital got hit, and it shut them down completely. And they reached out to Duke and to a few other. They literally reached out around the country, and we were able to help them. Otherwise, they wouldn't have been able to get back in operations. They didn't know when they would be able to. So this is definitely a welcome addition to our city. And any system where you can access somebody's social security number or any of their data, like the water bill, something like that, it doesn't take much. They can do more with our information than we can. And and the price, I mean, you get what you pay for, unfortunately, in this industry. So I'm grateful that looking at your plan, it seems pretty robust. And even though I hate MFA with the passion, I understand, because we had a system administrator's account get hacked, and it pretty much opened up Duke to the world. But we were able to mitigate it because we had some safety measures such as this. So I commend you. This looks pretty thorough, in my nerd opinion.
Thank you. We've spent about 2 years developing the platform. We've released it more in the last 6 to 9 months, but we were a member from our side, and we're a member of networking groups, some cybersecurity groups. I've been to California for a week-long training, and we're constantly evolving and changing with the times. But the biggest risk to any business, or especially the city, is one, the liability of the data. And I can throw numbers at it, but if you were data exposed today, you're in the millions of dollars of liability, where citizens potentially could have class action lawsuits. You have fines that could come down from the state and different governing bodies. But the other bigger risk is the ability to service the citizens. If the police department shut down, fire department, water treatment plant, if those things get hacked, I mean, we have computers that now control all of the pump stations and all the lift stations. That's the biggest cyber risk, but health risk and being able to service the citizens. So it's something we've talked about for a while, but once we had the grant come about with the 70-30 split, we were trying to get that
grant, I know we got $7,000. How much is the annual cost for this kind of protection? I mean, how, in terms of this grant and what we do in terms of the matching amount, what period of time will that cover?
I believe it's 2 years.
2 years. So every 2 years, we have to,
Well, some of that is initial onboarding and setup costs, so those costs can come down, and technology costs come down. The only thing that should make this go up is if the city adds more employees, more sites, more services. So that's the only sway point that you have. Is the bigger the city grows, the more protection that you need. But again, there are some startup and conversion and onboarding costs to get all of these things implemented as well.
How much hardware will this require? Like ballpark?
Honestly, this is all software based except for the firewalls.
All right.
We actually also received about a $40,000 donation, I don't know the right word, grant from the North Carolina League of Municipalities, where they recently gave us all brand new routers, switches, firewalls, and access points across all city departments, and that's already been put in place now. So this is just going to tag on the monitoring, the SIM ingestion, and all of those, technical things that, the verbiage we use is we can't prevent all hacks, but we do everything to prevent all hacks. But right now, if something were to happen, we have no way of knowing what happened. That's what happened to the other city government, is they had no logging. They had no backups. We're at least backing it up now, but it's the recovery time and the liability of that exposure that, unfortunately, cyber insurance premiums are going to get higher, and legislation's coming down and making it more of a governmental issue with enforcing these technologies, because we're wasting tax dollars that could be going to other places to service the public, and instead of being, and it's going to, unfortunately, other than North Carolina changing the law, pay ransom or pay incident response and pay recovery. So it's, kind of the ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure at this point. But you've got 130 employees was the last camp that we had. Yes, sir.
Just another question. You said that it will provide 24-hour surveillance.
Correct.
Is that done automatically
Yes.
through the system? It's not a physical person.
No.
And if
it's an industry.
finds something, it will automatically.
So we
alert.
set up policies that say under certain circumstances, if it detects something bad enough, and the best word I can use, it can actually shut down a workstation from the network automatically. And then the Security Operations Center, which is also US based, will actually call and wake me up in the middle of the night, or they have a call list through our team. But the first defense is stop it, and then we go through a remediation. But I've had other places we turned this on, because I had another business email compromise happen to another government agency that I work with. We turned it on, and within an hour, it found someone, I believe, out of Italy or Russia or Ukraine, actively accessing an email account that inadvertently had administrative rights, and was able to log in and see everybody's email address in the entire system. So it's phenomenal stuff, but it's really, I hate to say it's not optional anymore. It's still an option, but again, with the other city that got hacked severely, and they actually had the North Carolina National Guard cyber response team come in, and they literally wiped every computer in the city and started from scratch.
I work full time for the state of North Carolina.
Okay.
And they have similar, cybersecurity stuff. I mean, hardcore stuff. But I agree with what the mayor said, that they also make sure that we go through training quarterly, even if it's just digital classes that we got to take quarterly. Sometimes it's a headache, my supervisor called me, hey, you got a few classes you got to do on there. And it might be 30-minute classes, 15-minute classes. But those classes based on phishing and different stuff like that is very educational. And it has saved my butt a few times, because on what you were saying about the email, people don't understand that they will get something as similar, something as simple as State Farm, and just replace an L with a number. And it looks like the legit website. And if you Yeah, they're very clever on how. So now I have been able to catch stuff on my personal email, stuff that come in because the email don't look right. The way emails are addressed to you. Another recent thing that I've come to find out that they can actually hack phone numbers.
SIM swap.
Yeah, so not too long ago, I get like text messages from like 7 different people on my contact list with a link. And I'm wondering why everybody's sending me a link. So it didn't seem right. So I called people, asked them, did they send me something? And all of them said no. So it was a situation where you thinking, okay, this is from Seth. Seth sent me a link. Me and Seth, we text. And they don't think nothing of it, And then you click on it, and there you go. You got spam and spyware all in your phone, or even but they're very clever on how they do things, and so I do agree with the
We've had
mayor.
that happen to some of our clients. Well, again, they're not a client yet, but we're in the part of it. They actually had someone impersonate their software vendor and called the customer and tricked them into doing some test loans in their financial software, and they lost $70,000 because they were funding test loans that were real loans, and they lost the money, and they had no cyber insurance or anything. So, yeah, it's a doom and gloom conversation. It's not a happy conversation, but it's one of those things that's necessary in today's landscape to be able to protect not just businesses, but even more so municipalities. I mean, what would happen, and this has happened to people that I know, if tomorrow one of the bank accounts got compromised and someone wired out $20 million, I don't know if you have that much in the bank, but wired out every bit of money that the city has. How are you going to get that? So other parts to this is not incident response, but it is building plans for if something happens, who do we call, how quickly. It's to be able to have the city protected, but also know what we have, where it's at. There's a lot more that goes into this beyond just these are just the product names and the product types. But
Listen, one quick question. Sure. I know, given the sophistication of what do you call them, threat actors now,
correct, yeah.
Is 2 years, is that about the average time that you should go through, or that we should go through before an upgrade is needed? Or
that's what I was talking earlier with the grant. The technology can change, but we're going to stay. The funds are there, and if we have to change the technology, we'll mold the technology. But if it comes over the grant money, then we may have to readjust that as well. But I can't offer a guarantee because I don't know what they're going to come up with next. But it's 100% better than what you have now, which is not a lot, just by nature of budget constraints and things like that. But that can change. But again, we're constantly learning, evolving, training to keep up to date, and also changing and adding more products. And oftentimes we add stuff that there's no additional fee to, just because if it makes our life easier and prevents something, then we try to include that as much as possible.
And finally, if something were to happen within that 2-year period, would there be an additional cost, or how would there be a responsibility for the city to I just pay that cost, or pay for the upgrade then? Or
today, the only upgrade I could anticipate would be if you add more employees than you have today. So we estimated at 130, which is what the grant was requested for. You were close to that. I always throw in a couple extra, round it up. But as long as we don't exceed that 130 mark, but if you're 130, 132, it's not minimal cost. But if you decide, okay, we're going to do something and add another 100 employees to the city, then there's going to be an additional cost. But there's going to be other discussions around that as far as what that's going to be as well.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you very much. I have some questions, but I'll wait till we get into the actual public hearing and city business on this.
You need me
Thank you.
for that? Did I ask any questions or?
No, I'm fine.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item up in delegation is the planning board discussion. It's basically, we have a vacancy on the stand, and where are we going to?
Last time you had a vacancy on the planning board, you asked us to solicit out. Okay, know what your pleasure is.
Will be to, every other board member can say, I think we should seek more solicitation, more.
Agree.
That would be my recommendation as well.
Mine too.
All right, and that's what we'll do.
Thank you.
Okay. And this time we move to public comment.
Citizens may speak on agenda as well as non-agenda items at this time. Citizens wishing to address the board should have registered their name, address, and the subject with the city clerk prior to the beginning of the meeting. In an effort to maintain order and decorum, we would encourage speakers to be courteous and respectful during this portion of the meeting in which citizen input is heard. Please refrain from profanity, inappropriate gestures, insults, personal attacks, or accusations. Each presentation will be limited to 5 minutes.
So we have one public comment request, and that's from Mr. Joseph Saber. I believe it is 801 Hillsborough Street, Oxford, North Carolina, 27565. It's based on the sewer project easement.
All right. Good evening. Thank you for taking the time to speak with me, or for me to speak to you all. So I'm just here today not to oppose the necessary sewer project, but to express concern over the process and transparency with which the city is acquiring permanent property rights from its own citizens. The current approach lacks values we expect in Oxford and relies on intimidation, causing unnecessary and avoidable stress. The confusion started early. We were told that the city needed to establish an easement in an area which is a 25-foot ditch, which the city already owns. After multiple meetings, I was never provided with real clarification on why my signature was necessary for the easement on land that the city already possessed. Again, they never clarified, and they actually agreed that it did not make sense why the city would be asking for that land or for an easement from me. Essentially, I was told that there wasn't any sort of record that that land wasn't mine, or that land was not mine, and so they needed an easement. It did not make sense to me. Additionally, I've spoken with neighbors who were initially led to believe that they were getting a 6-foot permanent easement, or they believed the same thing that I believed, which was the city was asking for property that they already owned. I was recently sent a letter that demands a 12-foot permanent easement or face the city condemning that part of my property, essentially taking it. Given the new information, my neighbor who signed early is now deeply worried that the city will simply take a 12-foot permanent easement despite what she was originally told. With the new plans I received, they were substantially different, essentially doubling the easement from the 6 foot of the original plan, which now that I had the new plans and was able to communicate with people, I could see that there was a difference in the two. And finally, it made sense. They were asking for an easement on my property, but that wasn't what I was told initially. This changing requirement and lack of consistent communication is unacceptable and has severely eroded the trust between the city and its residents, which is the exact reason that I did not sign the easement or the first easement request, because things didn't add up. The city is threatening homeowners with condemnation letters, a process designed to scare people to acquire the easement. I've spoken with people who work for the city who essentially told me that that was why. They sent it out to scare people into signing. This process has been applied without a human aspect. One of the few people who received the letter recently suffered the loss of his wife. So we could communicate, but I've tried to not communicate with him due to his loss. Is it truly the Oxford way to use the threat of a lawsuit against citizens rather than clear communication and good faith negotiation? I understand that it is easier to do that than talk to people. Less intrusive solution within the 25-foot wide property that the city already owns. For the construction phase, utilize a temporary construction easement for homeowners that will terminate once the project is complete. This simple adjustment would minimize the impact on private usage rights and demonstrate the city's commitment to its residents. Taking homeowners' usage rights is a big city decision. I believe that Oxford deserves better. I'm formally requesting that the city provide a clear physical survey to every affected homeowner showing the exact boundary that the city is proposing that they will take in a permanent easement. And that is done from their property line. I've had people come out and tell me, yeah, we can measure it, but I don't actually know the exact specifications. I'm not actually getting, stakes in the ground saying, hey, we're taking it from here to here, nor has anyone else.
Go ahead, you continue.
Okay, I'm almost done. Overall, I ask that you are able to reevaluate the engineering plan and find a less intrusive solution that respects the rights of your citizens. I understand that moving the pipe or the current pipe may cost more money. It's something that I've been told is the reason why we cannot move it is because the pipe that is currently there is in the way. But I think that you should consider the impact on the people around the project. Overall, I just think that there's a better way to do this rather than sending out letters. I essentially had not heard anything about it whenever the first confusion happened. I was very much under the impression that it had been figured out, and then I got that letter in the mail, and that was very unsettling. So I thank you guys for your time and for listening. I'm a little nervous, so I appreciate it.
That's okay. You good?
Yeah.
Okay. Normally in public comment, we don't speak on it. We need to do this, address this situation. But we'd like to address the situation.
I must say, only because the precedent this was set, but I can tell you that I actually was on the phone with our engineering firm this morning about his particular situation, and we're working with some of the language that he has requested with our legal team to try to address some of his issues and anybody else. We're not trying to intimidate people as has been indicated. I know the word condemnation can kind of seem that way, but that's a legal term or a process that we need to do if we can get the easement signed so we can do the work. But we've not intimidated anybody. We've actually offered us compensation for that, for what essentially is the opportunity to come work in that area to replace badly needed sewer lines. So there's about 60 of them that we had to send out. And so it does take time in addition to all the other responsibilities that we have in the city to work with that. But in his case in particular, I was actually on the phone today with him and our attorney trying to see how we can best make resolution to that.
I just, I got a question, because when we brought this up before, this condemnation, my understanding is that we're not actually taking ownership of that parcel of land, which is.
But I get what he's saying. What he's saying is, so if you have to have an area to work in, it does limit some of what you can do, like you can't put structure on there, but it's still space. So I understand what he's saying. But But no, we're not
You're not-
physically taking the property, but it does limit it a little bit.
Thank you.
I think that, I've had several calls on this, and we've talked about it. And there's a little confusion in the document that went out. And it just dawned on me right now, we could have done probably a town hall. Invite those folks that are going to be affected.
That was done
It was
back
done?
in
Okay.
May.
May, all right. And apparently we do not have the attorney. Going to take over the property, just a matter of replacing the sewer lines, which is needed, because if we don't replace it today or during the process, it can go in a couple months and you may have a ruptured sewer line. So it's basically a prevention move, and maybe we could have done a little difference in communication, but I'm rest assured it's something that's going to benefit not just you, but the entire community. And maybe we could find another way of approaching it, but if you want to, we will talk to you after again. I guess you've been talking to Mr. Taylor on them. So, again, confirming it's not going to take over your property permanently.
Thank you.
We've been moving into city business. The first item of city business tonight is consider approving a budget appropriation to use the funds to purchase the equipment for the police department. Police department has received federal forfeiture of revenue and is allowed to purchase equipment and the use of these funds. One of the units is a van, which is estimated at $51,785, and a trailer of $6,400, for a total of $58,185. And the staff is recommending approving the budget appropriation for this funds to purchase the equipment for the police department. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Commissioner Toby. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Bellis. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item line is consider approving a budget appropriation to use for cybersecurity. To appropriate North Carolina Department of Public Safety Emergency Management FY24 state and local cybersecurity grant program awarded 10/29/2025. The city of Oxford received a cybersecurity grant in the amount of $249,913 with a match requirement of $107.05. The award must be spent by 02/28/2028. It will be given to implement, or IT will be given to implement the cybersecurity plan. The staff is recommending approving the budget appropriation to use of cybersecurity. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Commissioner Bridges. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mayor Pro Tem. Is there any discussion?
I mean, I want to make it clear to the public and everybody else that this money will come out of the fund balance.
There is a discussion on my part. We only have one bid so far in this thing. Is it required to have a second bid? Are we required to have somebody? So we just looking to have somebody that's going to look at this. I understand the gentleman does our IT services, but have we looked at any other option? That's my concern.
They were also involved in helping us get the grant, so we typically would use the same firm.
Can you say again?
They were involved in helping us get the grant.
I understand that.
Yeah.
But we have another option.
From what I understand, the city manager, if we go to another option, then we would lose that grant.
No, we will not lose the grant. The grant was already approved. It's just that we're right now saying we're going to give this grant to Newcomb to do this job. because they help us put the grant together.
Well, they also are
IT
IT security company.
I understand they're an IT security company, but we're talking about $107,000 for 2 years. Most of it is just a setup. I understand the setup to get this set up is fine, but what's going to be costing 2 more years? It's going to be still 100,000 up in that range. It should drop considerably. It's not something we're going to buy right now. It's going to last the next 10 years. It's like 2 years, $107,000. Then we got to come back again 2 years. Is it going to be 107,000? Do we have options? I mean, we wouldn't just buy something. I would not buy something without getting bids for it if it was my money. But anyhow, I'm fine.
It's kind of the direction we should go in. Aside from the fact that they helped us get the grant, he certainly has, or his company has familiarity with the city of Oxford, and it just seems like the direction to go. And I'm certain that we could review this at the end of a couple of years. And maybe it might be that we might want to get other bids to see, to make it competitive.
It's nothing against Newcomb.
Right.
It's just, to me, just common sense. I'm not nothing against the company. Yes, they've been serving us for a while. They've been doing stuff for us, but we're spending some money. And somebody's gonna say, did you have other bids on that? No. What is our procedure? What's our guidance in awarding contracts? Do we need to have bids on it? That's all I'm asking. If it's something that can come and bite us in another year, we didn't have any bid on it, what's our process?
The service is gonna be over 2 to 3 years, so even though it's gonna be less than our threshold that we would need over a 3-year period that we would even have to bid on. But this was, like I said, a grant for a company that's enhancing our ability to do the work that we're already using. So it would be like adding an additional service to any company that we're already using.
So it's going in as a sole source, which I'm gonna change a different change. If we upgraded our sewer system and we got a contractor that worked in this and did the bids on it, so it means it's automatic gonna get it? No, but anyhow, I'm done. I just wanted to bring that to everybody's attention.
Now, from my understanding as well, is that if this is a 2-year contract, it's only costing us, I know that we're matching the total of 107,105, but annually it costs us 53,552 per year on our budget instead of the whole.
Depending on how fast on the implementation.
Yeah, because it's not the whole 107, it's 53 per year. So I just want to make sure that I got that understanding as well.
Oh, I'm done. It's anybody else.
Was the grant applied for, was the grant, looking at it at a 2-year period originally, or is that kind of
I
what?
think that's the parameters of the grant.
Okay, so they're offering 249, 913. So assuming they would think that 249 divided by 2 would be probably market rate for a year. That's what they're doing. That's what they're giving, but plus the match. But yeah, I don't know how much these things cost. So
I mean, this is nice. It's needed. I've been working in data centers all last 20 years of my life. Cybersecurity is top dog. It's needed. Commissioner Brooks can attest to that, and Commissioner McGrady works that in the federal prison. It's needed. But yes, it's needed. It's not needed. It's a necessity.
Can I just ask the gentleman from Newcomb? How long would it take to implement this security system?
The average time is 30 to 60 days to get
30 to
everything
60.
implemented across the city. And again, this is more of an add-on service to the existing
Yeah.
services. If you bring in another company, that's gonna cost you more in the long run for them to reevaluate everything. And the average is about 50 to 100, I mean, as a wide average, $50 to $150 per user, which is an employee with a mailbox per month. This is coming in at, pretty low, below that average. And again, our model is based on a Mountain Valley system. So if you do away with the department and you drop 20 employees, we're gonna drop the bill by those 20 employees. If you add some, it comes up and down. So while there's matching funds, this is really, if you bring in someone else to do the cybersecurity, I'm not able to do the IT. So it would be looking at replacing everything versus just replacing that part of it.
Thank you. I appreciate the mayor's concern.
Sure, I understand.
I appreciate his concern because we have to be transparent. We have to
We are well within the parameters of so in the amount, if we just wanted to go with the one. So I know with some projects, at a certain limit, you have to get bids. But I just want to make sure everybody's on the same page and that's clarity, that we do fall within that parameter to have a sole source. And that's
my understanding.
Okay, that's fine with me. Again, it was just checking, because Mr. Newcomb has been doing business with the city for 20 years, right? All right, again, the discussion over. Let's say, do we have a motion?
You had a motion.
You did.
We had a motion and a second.
Oh, okay, so we go right into it.
Just need a vote, yeah, that's all.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
2, 3, 4, 3.
4-3. Consider approving FY 26 to FY 2030 ordinance for capital improvement plan. Staff recommends approving the capital improvement plan. We all had copies of the capital improvement plan issued yesterday, or the day before yesterday, which entails some improvement, which is also needed.
It's a plan that can be adjusted.
Yes.
Correct? Yeah. And we need it.
Mr. Thomas has a question. Mr. Thomas.
I was under the understanding, Larry Thomas, 207 East Front Street. I was under the understanding that this was a public hearing. Am I wrong? Because I have some comments on this particular item, the resolution.
It wasn't presented to me that way.
I mean, clearly says on the thing, public hearing and city business. I just assumed
Yeah, that's just-
those items were public hearing items.
It's just the title of the section, man.
Yeah, it's just the
Okay.
title of the section.
Thank you.
But always, like always, your comments, we have shop on wheels. You're regular. Okay, so we have all in favor, right? That was,
Yeah.
we did that motion already.
Yeah.
You need a motion.
You need a motion.
Okay. 4.3, consider approving FY 26, all right, the capital project. Do I have a motion?
Oh, motion
Motion by Commissioner Toby. Do I have a second?
for the capital improvement.
Second by Commissioner McCray. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 4.4. Consider approving the 2026 Farmers Market Agreement. Staff recommends the approval of the agreement. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Mayor Pro Tem. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Tovey. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. That concludes our city business. Item 5, consent agenda. Consent items will be adopted with a single motion, second on vote, unless request for removal from the consent agenda is heard from the council member. The first item is accept the financial report. The second one, we approve the October board meeting minutes. And the next one, we approve resolution for sewer system enhancement. Is there a motion? Motion by Commissioner Bellis. Is there a second?
I have a question. Do we have a copy of the report?
Oh,
Copy of the report?
The sewer system?
No, the,
Finance.
sorry,
Oh,
sorry,
yeah.
I'm sorry. There's
Yeah, it
multiple
went
things
out
on
in
this.
email.
Oh, yeah, I did see it. Gotcha. I get a lot of emails.
So we have a motion by motion carried, and we will adjourn to closed session. Thank you very much. Before we adjourn, let's go, you want to do your, let's start with Commissioner Bellis.
I know I had some stuff.
More?
First and foremost, I would congratulate those who won their elections. Those that are coming on board, look forward to working with y'all two ladies. And I think this election year was a historical election year because I've never seen that many women run at one time. And everybody did put on a good fight, and congratulations to those that won, and congratulations to those who just, enlisted to even run, because it takes a lot to do that. Once again, thank you to the farmers market for everything that y'all do. Look forward to see all the exciting things that y'all gonna do next season when y'all launch again. Until then, I will be hitting some of the sweet potato piles and stuff that Felicia is sending to me, and different stuff like that. So, Seth, I don't know that yourself and Commissioner Fields y'all on the countdown now. It's been a pleasure and an honor to serve on this board with y'all.
I ain't going yet.
That's why I said you're on the countdown. We've had good times, enough times, headaches, all of us have shared aspirin and Tylenols together. But I just want to tell y'all that I appreciate, the time and everything that y'all put into this board and during your terms here. And that's all I got, Mr. Mayor.
Commissioner Lumpkins.
I thought you were gonna skip over me as the lame duck.
Commissioner Brooks. Commissioner Brooks.
Yeah, I'll say so. Yeah, thank you, Carlos, for saying that. I'll save the farewell speech for December, as long as the mayor will let me. No, but in all seriousness, congratulations to the farmers market. That's been a welcome addition to the city. I myself have enjoyed it. I know my kids have. My daughter loves to go out there. I think might have been the first one that y'all had with the fire trucks. My son is obsessed with fire trucks, so he was. I think he still wears the fire hat he got every now and then. So Not only that, just all the good produce and everything, and meats. I like to grill, so there's plenty of good options there, and I've really appreciated it, and it's been successful, and it's helped the city a lot, bring people in. So keep it up. So thank you, and I did want to say thank you to everybody that helped and participated in the Veterans Day Parade. Was that last weekend? Yeah. Last weekend, I wish more people would have came out, but it was a really good parade and got to honor the veterans. It's important, and I'm glad the city has stepped up to, and other partners have stepped up to make that happen. The parade was great, and just every little bit of just saying thank you to those that have served. I know we have the 3 on our board. Hopefully I didn't miss anybody, but thank you for your service, and I hope anything that the city can do to honor the veterans, we do it, and next year we can make it even better. So thank you.
Commissioner Brooks.
Due to daylight savings time and this past election, I was exhausted. But November 5th was a welcome. But the 2 experiences, I learned a lot. The first one, obviously, I learned how to do it the second time. So, but serving the city is a privilege and it's an honor. And being able to give back to the community that made me who I am is also a privilege and an honor. And I look forward to working with the new board, but I will miss the members that are leaving from this board. So it's been a great experience working with you all. I think we've done some good for the city. I know we have. And I pray that we will continue to do that. And to the farmers market, there's a term called ROI, return on investment. And I do believe that we received a tremendous ROI, taking the chance and investing with the farmers market. It was a great concept, and the execution has been, of course, nothing's flawless, but for what you have accomplished, I commend you. And we look forward to working with you all and seeing just what else you can do. Anything that brings a distinction to our city is a positive thing. And having a farmer's market that's stellar like this one will definitely be a jewel in the crown of the city of Oxford. So thank you all for your contribution to the farmers. Thank you all. My dad is a farmer, was a farmer, will always be a farmer, and I helped him a little bit. It is definitely not a chore that anybody, you have to really, really love to do that in order to do that. So thank you for your passion, and thank you for your continued service to our county. So thank you all.
Mr. McCray. As always, I thank each and every one of you for taking your time, sacrificing, coming out and hanging out with us at our board meetings. I do have a couple of congratulatory remarks and thank yous to the Commissioner-elects Kelly and McGee. Look forward to working with you guys. Job well done. Again, I think it's going to be a phenomenal board. And again, looking forward to working with each and every one of you in the unique skill sets that you guys will bring. To Commissioner Brooks, Commissioner Bridges, congratulations on your reelection. You guys are solid foundations of what we do. And again, I greatly appreciate what you guys do. Mayor Nurse, congratulations on your reelection as well. I think we're definitely heading in the right direction. So again, I'm greatly appreciative just to be a part of this. Wendy, again, every time I see you, my first word will always be thank you. So, but to ACIM corporate extension, corporate extension, I thank you guys. You guys are phenomenal in what you do. In her absence, I would like to thank both Chief Ford and Acting Chief Pearl now, for what they're doing, what they continue to do. As you guys know, Chief Ford will be effectively retiring / resigning as of Friday. So it's coming up Friday. So again, thank you for your time. If you're watching and for what you did, as always, Chief, appreciate what you do, Chief Cottrell. Phenomenal job, man. You have the utmost respect, and for all our city employees, you guys do a wonderful job, and you make our job so a little bit easier. So again, I can't express enough just how appreciative I am for all that you do. And I think that's it for me. Again, just thank you guys, everyone, for coming out, and we'll look forward to doing this again, I guess, in the next couple of weeks. God bless.
Commissioner, no, let's go with Mr. Chance Wilkerson. Would you like to?
I'll just say that we live in the golden age of fraud. So what y'all did with cybersecurity tonight is very important. I mean, when I see it in the legal business, it's rampant. So definitely, I'm glad the city is taking a step forward on that.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Taylor?
I'll try and keep it brief.
Didn't you talk already?
I'll try and keep it brief. First off, congratulations to everybody that's elected. Everybody. I mean, wonderful, wonderful achievement. I know for a start it's a lot of hard work. And to the farmers market, onward and forwards to bigger and better things. But I just wanted to thank the mayor. Actually, the mayor recently reached out to Congressman Don Davis in Washington, D.C., and managed to present my mother-in-law with a nice certificate and a letter it was wonderful, and that's it.
Write that down.
Number 4. Commissioner Bridges.
Glad the election's over.
I'm sure.
Quite an experience. Congratulations to the winners. Folks that are going to be added to the board. Sorry, Seth and Pat are leaving us, and I've expressed that to both of them. I echo all of the comments about the farmers market. It is just a phenomenal program, and you're doing good things. I want to also acknowledge Felicia Barker, who is in the
Heish.
She was insane.
Oh. Well,
Let me do it.
well, the fact of the matter is, she used to work for me.
Where she rode my bus.
Okay, I won't say anything else.
All right, thank
but I am proud of that young lady, for what she's accomplished, and she's a farmer, and is out at the farmers market all the
Yes.
time, and so it's a lot of good things happening in the city of Oxford. I think your victory, Mayor, shows that we are moving in the right direction.
Thank you, sir.
And, I think we just need to move forward in a positive manner as best we can.
Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you. I will save my thanks and acknowledgements and all for next month. I will take Carlos's time. Please.
Second. Second.
I got you back. It's a poor frog that won't praise his own pond. I knew Felicia when she was a sweet girl riding my bus many years ago, and I am indeed proud that she's Stovall newest commissioner.
Yeah.
And And before there was a farmer's market, I was personally buying vegetables from her via the telephone and email. She'd just say, where you want me to pick, where's the drop off? But everything has been said, Wendy and your team and the farmers. Keep up the good work. To the board, if y'all think I'm gone,
Carlos do that.
you're wrong. Because if you think I was annoying sitting right here, oh boy, look out when I'm sitting out there. That's it. I'm a jump. No. To the winners, to the females, I am so proud. I am so proud. Jackie was the first female elected to the board. I was the first female of color elected to the board. And that's my legacy. That's my legacy to the city of Oxford, to all young girls. If you want it, you can do it. You can get it. Just keep up the good work. Lower the testosterone level up here. That's it.
Mr. Mayor.
No, you're fine.
Oh, we got some things coming up.
Yeah.
Tomorrow morning, 8:00, Public Works. 8:30. Employee of the month. Quarter. Employee of the quarter. Please be there if you can. It means a lot to our employees to be recognized, but it means even more to have the board there to say thank you. Then our Christmas banquet is when, Melissa? December 12th. Put it on your calendars. That's it. Is that it? Parade, December 5th.
She's in charge.
See how they go? Why? Y'all can ride.
There's a commissioner float.
Yes.
I need a comfortable chair.
No, baby, you got to stand. You got to be 65 over to sit.
Okay. I need
Last,
something to hold on.
last year, my son gave Mayor Pro Temp a run for her money. She had to be grandma on that float last year.
I ain't babysitting this year. That's it, Mayor. That's
Mr.
it.
Mayor.
To the city of Oxford, 12 years of admiration and dedication to the city of Oxford. Thank you.
After the glowing comments from two commissioners, my cousin, Ms. Barker, congratulations.
They just want to let the seat, but I tell y'all.
Do you?
See,
I can't be proud of my family.
what is it?
Let the
Mr.
mayor
Mayor.
speak.
I ain't letting them.
I'm doing the sprint test right now. A lot of things happened in the last couple of weeks. We had an election. It's more important that learn what I learned after the election. Whatever you campaign on, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen right away. So it takes teamwork. The bad thing about elections, friendship or loss when you hear some of the negative comments. Again, I thought it was overall good. I think the citizens responded not in the volume we expected. It was very low turnout. I think the result will have been the same if it was a higher turnout. The two ladies that are coming on board, I guess they hear from me all the time, and we did some door knocking and walking together and beating up on Eddie and other people together. So I'm looking forward to heavy work. I'm joining this board. We have a lot of work to do. We're going to be reorganizing some of our committees, the way we do it, because we need better results than some of the things we did. And I'm looking forward to working with everyone. Veterans Day Parade, we established a bar. We need to keep the bar. Last 2 years, parade lasted an hour and a half. So with that said, we need to establish a bar. We need to look and see what we need to do. So I'm not going to comment anymore. This is adjourned closed. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. So this is adjourned closed session. No, you can leave. You can leave. You can leave. Yes. See you in the morning. Thank you. Thank you. See, she's right. There. Yes, sir.
Somebody take some notes, please.
Tell them to go into the bathroom and come on back.
5 minutes break.
Tell them to go in the bathroom and come on back. Stop having all them conversations.
He hasn't gone yet. He needs to go.
That's good to see, man. You're doing good. You're doing well.
No.
Shut everything down.
Everything.
Like the bathroom's the way out too. Yeah.
Alicia.
Kids in the bed yet? Probably are.
We should have gone. We should have done. We should have gone to add a motion together.